What's going on, everybody? Jack Acid here, bringing you a Forza Horizon series called Let's Ride, and this will be a very informal series of videos I'll be posting off and on, basically walking you through the game and events, mostly the events, but some things in between. But more on that in a moment. First, we got to start off our first event in the game called Horizon Heats, and taking a quick look at our difficulty. We are competing with no assists on medium AI. And I have to assume that the medium AI is like the Forza 4 counterpart, so we'll have to see how that shakes out. Certainly not used to any of the circuits. Dear God, what is this music? First order of business is to turn the radio off. This actually would be a lot of fun to play with custom soundtracks. I haven't seen the track list for the game, but haven't been overwhelmed with what I've heard. And quite frankly, just want to hear the music of the engine. So just to finish up the idea behind the whole series, I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing. Going to be recording the events as I go. May not show every single event as I do them, but I'll try and post as many as I can. Most of them are pretty short, at least here to start. We are competing in a Volkswagen. I don't even remember the class of this car. Ooh, taking out the sign there. Get that corner all wrong. Definitely not used to any of these roads, of course. But we do have the big yellow markers that can kind of give us an indication, and I am watching the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner, and sometimes can get caught out watching that map more than I am the road. Just kind of depends on what's going on. Try not to get it all wrong here, taking out the signpost, and the one difference about this game from Forza that you'll notice right away is that you actually get some bonuses for colliding with things, or you get wreck bonuses and things like that, at least within reason. Obviously, if you hit a wall going full speed like you saw at the end of the intro sequence, that's not so much good. But it is kind of cool how you accumulate stats as you go along, basically just driving. As you see here, trying to get around up here into P3, and now competing for P2, and trying to chase down Gilbert in the yellow Acura, it looks like. Can't really make out what the make and model of that is. And some slight contact there as we were able to get around him. And a helicopter going by here at 80%, and we are going to see the finish line before too long. So obviously the very, very short race is here to start with, and I'm sure that that's going to increase as the game unlocks. Quite a bit of content in this game. Going to be happy to give you my thoughts as I play through it. And I'm actually further along in the game than you're seeing here, and I gotta be honest, I'm very impressed with the size of this game. Quite a bit of content, way more than I was expecting in playing the demo. So very happy that I went ahead and picked it up, and actually regret not getting it sooner. And I want to apologize to my subscribers who are expecting me to start posting videos a lot quicker than I have been. And the reality is I've just been pretty busy and working on my F1 2012 series, which is pretty time consuming. So if you don't know much about the game, basically in between the races and the events, you cruise around this very large map. I'm heading over here to Race Central as I've been instructed. We've moved up into the yellow wristband category, which means better events, and going to go ahead and get our first car here in the 2011 Subaru Impreza. Was really tempted to get the Lancer. I liked both the Lancer and the Impreza from Forza 4, so hard decision there. So time to hop in the new car and get out and see what we can do on the open road, and trying to build up our popularity so that we get offers for special events. Again, there's a lot of content in this game. It's not just races. It's you can challenge random drivers just driving around the very large map and try and beat them for cash. You've got social challenges where you can go up against your friends after you race any circuit. You can go back and race these as many times as you want, different cars. Of course, there's different classes and different requirements in order to get into the events, much like the Forza 4 franchise. And I apologize for not pointing it out sooner, but basically this is the first race in the game where I've encountered a rival, so to speak. There's basically someone in each one of these races that's considered like the ace of the group, or the driving star. In this case, it's a woman named Ramona Cravache, I believe, and she's up ahead in the truck. And you may notice that she has a star next to her name. Basically, we want to beat her because we get an extra 1,000 credits for doing so. And this actually turns into sort of a rival sequence. I think that you basically are given rivals for a handful of stretch of races at a time. Whoa, a lot of contact there with Rockfeld with her. And now 3 cars getting involved. So very, very sticky up front, running here in P5. And you can see that this is actually a 2-lap event. A lot of times they're just single stages and we get the percentages, but in this case it's a lapped event. So we are coming around here to the end of lap 1 and the start of lap 2, trying to make up some ground and don't want to lose too much sight with our rivals. So usually the rival is pretty fast. Again, this is on medium AI. and haven't played much on hard because still kind of learning the game and so forth. But the reality is there's so much content in this game, I really just want to get through it, and probably don't want to spend a lot of my time going back and redoing events. Just kind of want to get gold and get through it, and can always do a hard mode, or go back and do things on hard later on. So not going to beat myself up too much about it. As you can see, riding up here in P3 and now making up some good ground on Ramona, and going to make a move here. The AI is very slow around this corner, and get a slingshot bonus there, which is kind of nice. And up into P1, and it looks like we've got just about half the sector to go, and she's all over us here. So hopefully we won't make any mistakes here, and we'll be able to secure the victory. And as we wrap it up, looking ahead, I will be taking you through a lot more of Forza Horizon and showing you a number of events, as well as some of the other nice little things that were missing from the demo, like the PR stunts, which are really cool, give you access to high-end cars for specific purposes, and gives you a nice little teaser for what you're in for. And there's actually quite a bit that I left out from the beginning of the game, and that's because it's mostly included in my video demo review that I did, which you can find a link for in the description of this video, that covered a lot of ground, such as the speed traps and so forth. So feel free to watch that if you want to learn more about the game. But I want to thank you for taking the time to stay and watch this video. Hope to see you at the next one. Thanks again.